Hi, Howard.
Hi, Howard.
How you doing?
So far, so good.
Good, good. Well, I've been looking forward to this. When we first started talking about this session, you said you were better at questions than answers. So I thought we'd begin like Jeopardy. The first answer is pareidolia.
I was reading the Overstory current novel, which is excellent. It's about trees. It's the Moby Dick of trees. And I bumped into that word and loved it.
But it fits so perfectly for you.
I thought so. I've been looking at faces. My first show at Imago, I think, was Making Faces. What's the name of the show? And most of what I do seems to have faces in it.
Yeah, I was wondering, so much of your work, whether it's the paper collages or your wood assemblages, are portraits. Do you think of particular people, or do you think of general human characteristics when you start to play with these patterns?
The latter. Rarely individual people. Sometimes they start looking like particular people, and I'll think about that with the title, but generally not.
The other thing I notice about what you do is that songs or characters from songs are often involved in your pictures. Do you have songs in your head while you're working, or do you listen to background music?
I listen to music. I got a present when I got my iPhone after many years of denying the fact that I should have a portable phone. My daughter put iTunes on it for me. So every month I get a $10 bill from them, and but I listen to iTunes on the phone while I'm working, and I've got a lot of albums that I've listened to in the past, and I have a hard time finding new stuff, but that's because my definition of old age is you look at People magazine and you don't know anybody in it.
Unfortunately, at our age, it tends to be we look at the obituaries and know too many people.
There is that too, yes, indeed.
Could you describe how the patterns develop as you have the materials in front of you?
I'll see something in an image and kind of take some pieces of white paper and frame it out and start there. Sometimes it's just a rectangle or an image that seems to make sense to me. And then I'll look for other things that go with it in terms of contrast and scale, shape, color. That's with the collage, of course. The stuff in wood, which I don't have any of in this show, that's just making stuff up on the bandsaw. Postal art, we have a show at Imago now of postcards. Postal art has kind of bit the dust. You know, people used to send elaborate envelopes and the rest of it, and that's kind of dying out because nobody uses snail mail anymore.
I recall when you did that demonstration at the gallery that you kind of work quickly once you get going. Is this because you have a pattern in mind as you're starting? Or is it more of a Zen-like process?
It just evolves. Um, my usual working habit is I'll start with something and then build on it. And sometimes it's a little piece and sometimes it's a big piece. With the collages, I prefer to find a field to work on. And I like to work with edges. So I'll get a centerpiece and work around the edge and work in rather than starting with something in the middle and working out.
Is it the edges and the patterns on the material and the colors, or does one take priority?
All of it, all of it. And I don't generally work as fast as you think I do. In fact, right now, since I put the work in for this show, I've been trying to do a couple of other pieces, and that's why I'm ready to throw everything out. I can't find stuff anymore. And I'll start with something, and I just can't find the mating pieces.
So do you think there's some thing that you would say that would kind of summarize what this particular group of work that you're presenting is?
It grew out of frustration. I was doing some other stuff and I kept doing it and spending a lot of time and not liking what I was doing and not being sure of it. And I decided that I hadn't done any collage in quite a while. Why don't I just go back and do something that I know how to do? So it's a little bit redundant, but it was fun and it kept me out of trouble for 2 months. So now I have to go back to where I started and find something else to do. I'm looking forward to spring when the weather gets warm and I can get my bandsaw going again.
Oh, because it's too cold to work in your studio?
Right, well, the studio is okay, but the bandsaw is in the garage. And I need to have a little bit warmer than this to work with it.
Right, right.
I also need to get a flamethrower to clean out the garage.
That sounds a little extreme.
Well, it's just about that bad. Oh, and I've got a new radial saw. I've never used a radial saw, but I'm going to start working with that too.
That'll be fun.
So if I come in with my hands like this, you'll know why.
Well, I think we have a lot here. Is there any final word you'd like to say?
Hello, everybody. Be well, wear your mask, get your shots, and we'll all get through this. Has nothing to do with collage or sculpture or making art. It just has to do with be well.
Great, great. Well, that's a good message to end with. Thanks so much.
Thank you.